your favorite horror movie and why?
Gosh. I hate when people ask me about my favorite anything because it changes, all the time. I mean, I have, I don't know, 10, 20 things that are my favorites, but why they are my favorite kind of changes all the time.
That's fine too. That's also human.
The Thing is probably tonight at this moment. The Thing would be my favorite horror movie because I love the way.
Yes, that's a good
the
movie.
original now, the 1981 John Carpenter version.
So you mean the original version or the John Carpenter version?
The John Carpenter version.
Okay, yeah.
Not the original 1950.
Yeah. Most people don't even reference that. Isn't it the Thing?
Yes, I think you're right. And I used to make jokes about that because it was a plant monster. And I thought that was ridiculous. But the John Carpenter version, I love. But the gore is spectacular in that.
Yes, right?
But is it Rob Bottin's special effects?
I believe so.
Absolutely amazing. But the thing that I really love about that is that it doesn't show itself until it's in the majority.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the most, cause you see that in real life, when there's an undercurrent of fascism or whatever you want to call it. You hear it whispered, you hear people talk about things and you hear rumors and you hear things and you kind of go, sure, that isn't real. And then when it's in the majority, you see it everywhere. And that's the really scary thing about that movie for me, is how you don't know who it is. You don't know who is one of them.
Right.
And then when they are in the majority, they just burst out on the floor and scream at you. It's really...
It was crazy too in that movie. Like, you could look at them. Okay, you could look at that movie and be like, "Oh, these guys are just driven insane and crazy because of the isolated environment."
Yeah.
But there's a thing that they're going after, right? And that thing plays a component as well. And of course, it takes over bodies. It doesn't want to really show itself. It tries to hide. It tries to survive. And I like all the different ways to try to isolate it, try to figure out who is the thing and who they need to get rid of. The blood test scene is great,
it's amazing, that scene. And the people who are tied on that couch with the thing, and you just feel so sorry for them.
Right.
I don't want to be tied to that couch.
I mean, that is a great horror movie too. It's a good mystery because... John Carpenter, he did say that at the end of the movie, one of them, at the very last scene, was Childs and McReady. One of them is the thing. One of them is the thing. And he still, to this day, John Carpenter hasn't said who it was.
Yeah.
There's speculation on whether or not it's Childs or speculation on whether or not it's McReady. And there's people who go into in-depth film analysis and try to explain how it's McReady because maybe he wasn't really drinking. I don't know. I forgot how he. I didn't go that deep.
Thing between them, where you have, but it's a lovely scene. Whichever of them is the thing, it's not going to show itself because it's too weakened. It knows it can freeze, and it'll be okay. And the human is kind of like, I don't care. I'm going to die here. I don't care.
Right. Well, that's what it is. When McReady hands the booze to Childs, they say that McReady had gasoline, had fuel in that because he was using them in Molotov cocktails, and that he was, and that was a plan to get Childs to drink it, knowing that it would reveal that he was the thing. But that doesn't make much sense because that's the same bottle that he was drinking out of earlier. But then there's a whole argument that Childs could be the thing because if you look at his breath, he doesn't have any breath, like cool breath coming out. But that is also not true because in the HD version or Blu-ray version, you can kind of see it.
But then there's
there's an argument about the coat, the color coat that he's wearing.
Yeah.
It's little things, but one of them.
The only thing you can be certain of is that one of them is human.
One of them is human. One of them is a thing. Okay.
Yeah, because if they were both the thing, they wouldn't be hiding.
Right. I think in the comics, because there's a comic series, they extended it, and I think Childs was the thing, I believe. But
well, that's just
that's
you
one.
don't want Kurt Russell to to lose out. I think really, isn't it?
Kurt Russell was great. I mean, he's fantastic. But in the guy who played Childs is fantastic in that movie too.
He's fantastic. Yeah.
They were great at being rivals. Man, that is a good movie. I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
I love that movie, and even at the beginning when the dog's just walking around and going into all the rooms and it's like hula bee. It's so. I know in the DVD commentary they talk about how AIDS had kind of just really become a problem, and there was always that kind of thing of who has it. But to me, I suppose because always living in that post world, it's more like an idea, because the way ideas can spread, and who's carrying that idea, who isn't actually thinking, who seems to be your friend, but actually they're thinking against you or they're planning against you.
Ah, yeah.
And that you can't kill that. There's always going to be a book or something that'll keep that idea going.
Right. There's something when you mentioned the dog, which by the way, the dog is like one of the best supporting characters. I mean, that dog is great.
Oh yeah.
But something else I didn't realize too. I didn't really think about it. But when the dog was in the kennel, the thing, like, it didn't really start react. It started like bursting out the dog because the other dogs were aware that dog is not a dog, and I guess the thing wasn't smart enough to realize, this isn't really going to affect its chances of survival because like the humans are not going to like really bother it, but because they're just be like stupid dogs, or whatever. But it just because of that pressure, it's like it had been spotted, trying to burst out and go crazy and just infect someone else. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh man!
So it did react, and if it was cornered, it would react very aggressively. And I suppose you see that as well, in the scene where they tried the defibrillators on the body, and it opens up and bites off the arm.
Yeah.
And then
that was a crazy
drops
scene.
off and scuttles off. Yeah, it's amazing. So when it is threatened, it does react very aggressively.
It does, yeah. It tries to survive. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Oh, one thing we want to talk about. We mentioned before is Christmas themed horror movies. I mean, we are in December here. What are there Christmas themed horror movies? I mean, there's Krampus.
Yeah, gosh, this is terrible. I should have looked up the name for this. There was I think it was a Norwegian movie, and it had reindeers and a nasty Santa. It was really good.
I know there's a Christmas Horror Story, and then there's Krampus, and then there's Black Christmas. Like
there's Black Christmas,
the original. I mean, I prefer the original, but
and there's one that's very like that, about another one with sorority girls.
I'm not sure. Oh, what is it?
This is terrible. I should have prepared for this. I'm blaming the fact that it's 4:00 in the morning for me.
Yeah, it's 4:00 in the morning.
I don't know.
It's 4:00 in the morning.
I don't know.
Gremlins. Gremlins would be Gremlins, Red Christmas.
Gremlins. I love.
What's the one with the snowman? I thought it was
Jack. Was
Jack,
it
Jack
Jack
Frost? Jack Frost. That's right. Yeah. That was great. If you talk about cheesy horror movies, I mean that right there, that one takes it. I mean you got a snowman. Miss Murphy, you haven't seen that movie, right?
I have seen it, yeah.
Oh no! So you know what happens in the horror movie? You know what happens?
I do. I do.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll say here. I mean, you got
need cheesy movies.
You got a crazy snowman just killing people and
Yeah. Yeah.
having sex in bathtubs with people, or the showers. That scene was crazy. It's like they just went as far as they could with that movie.
They really did, yeah. I'd block that part out of my mind.
Well, yeah, I understand why. Oh, man.
Horror does that, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, as far as Christmas horror movies go, though, I mean, I guess not a whole lot. There's some. I mean, there's, like we mentioned, Gremlins. That's a good one. Definitely check that out. There's
What I love about Gremlins is the way that it's based, like, on Bedford Falls, for It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like, I think it's a good kind of companion piece.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That movie.
I didn't think about it that way. Huh. That's good. Okay. Well, let me plug your book again. Let me let you plug your book and your other books too, and then we'll wrap up here. Miss Murphy, take it away.
So if you like your horror with some Irish and a bit of humour, I would recommend 7 Days in Hell and its sequel, 7 Weeks in Hell, which has zombies and black magic and all the good stuff, lots of gore. And if you like more Irish, Celtic folklore and zombie private detectives, then definitely check out my 2 collections of short stories, Zoo of the Dead and Other Horrific Tales, and Return to Hades and Other Adventures.
Okay, and I'll also throw in a link to, I'll just throw in a link to your website in the chat. That will take care of all of that. There you go. Here's the link to that there, guys. There you go.
And check out my Amazon author page, and you'll find everything about me. And on Twitter, author Iseult. Look at my website.
I'm looking at the time here. I mean, there's so much that we still haven't really gone into, like really the inner details of why horror, and also about the feedback about the movies, the books, and the reaction, all that.
Yeah.
Normally go into all that, but we had a pretty good talk. I definitely enjoyed this. Feel free to.
Yeah.
I mean, you pretty much got an invite to come back whenever you want.
Thank you.
Definitely enjoy this. Ladies and gentlemen, you made it this far. Press the like button, share, and subscribe. And you guys. Oh, Aaron, don't worry. We didn't really have a full Xmas movie talk. We were just sort of like thinking up of titles. Really, honestly, last minute. We'll have a Xmas movie talk, a detailed one, probably on the week of Christmas, probably.
Very good.
All right. And Krampus was mentioned. All right. You guys take it easy. Miss Murphy, thank you so much for coming on. And